Hi everyone, and welcome to this new video where I'm going to talk about why songwriters should practice your training. Well, to begin with, there's just one main logical reason why you should practice your training if you're a songwriter, which is that if you want to write good songs, you need to have a good level of musicality. Simply because if you don't have a good level of musicality, you won't be able to recognize what sounds good from what sounds bad. And that's the real main logical reason behind why songwriters should practice your training. But I will go more in depth than that, and I will discuss some other reasons that might not be so obvious. But before going on with that, I'd like to discuss a topic that might be important to some songwriters out there. As you know, there are two main types of songwriters out there. There is the type of songwriter that focuses most of his energy on lyrics. They might start a song writing a lyric, and they might put most of their attention and energy on that aspect. And there is the other type of songwriter, which is mostly focused on melodies, chords, and music, the musical aspect of a song, really. And if you are the type of songwriter who focuses mostly on lyrics, you might be facing an issue with your musicality. And you might be focusing on lyrics because you think you lack some musical related skills. Maybe you're not able to sing in tune very well. Maybe you see that you have a difficult time coming up with good melodic ideas, good chord progressions. And so you focus mostly on lyrics because this is the aspect that comes easier to you. And there's nothing bad to that. But I just want to say that you can really train your musicality exactly as you trained your ability to write lyrics. Because when you were a child, you didn't even know how to write a song, how to write anything really. And so you've trained a lot to get there and to be able to understand language and to write and to put your thoughts into words. The same thing can be done with your musicality. And there is this huge myth about musical talent and about, you either have musicality or you can't develop it by any means. And this is not true. I have made multiple videos about this subject, and I really suggest you check out this video. You can find above here, and you can also find the link in the description section of this video, where I talk about this myth of musical talent, and you will even find references to serious scientific studies if you want to understand this topic more in depth by yourself. So if you're the type of songwriter who has this limiting belief that you can't develop your musicality, that you can't learn to write good melodies and good progressions, etc., I really suggest you check out that video before going on with this one. Okay, let's get back to the reasons why you should practice your training if you're a songwriter. Well, the first reason why you should practice your training is in order to write better songs faster. Because when you have a great level of musicality, chords and melodies comes to you faster. Because your mind tends to come up by itself with good melodic ideas and good chord progressions ideas that might be a good fit for what you're writing. This skill is not magic, it is developed by understanding the musical language and internalizing the musical language so that you can really speak the musical language really like you speak your normal language. So if you try to speak a language that you don't know, you will have a hard time coming up with sentences and coming up with a way to really translate what you're thinking into words. So the same happens with music. If you don't have a good internalization of the musical language, you will have a hard time finishing a great melodic idea that you just had, or just coming up with a good chord progression for the melody line that you just wrote. So this is very important to understand, and you should see music exactly as you see a normal language. Music in itself, it's just a language. It just talks to us on a different level. It's about tension and release. It's about sensations. But the fact that it's a language of sensations, it doesn't mean it can't be understood. It doesn't mean it can't be learned. Indeed, it can absolutely be learned independently from your current level. So I digressed maybe too much, but I hope my point came through and you understood why and how great ear training skills help you write better songs faster. The second reason why you should practice your training if you are a songwriter is in order to develop more creative and original ideas. Basically, the higher your level of musicality, the easier it will be for you to come up with musical ideas that aren't common. So this is a very important advantage to have in this day and age where, in order to stand out from the crowd, you need to be very original. And so your training skills can help you bring out some fresh ideas that other musicians haven't come up with yet. And I will expand a bit more on why this happens. Knowing that you have a great level of musicality, you will have a higher level of confidence in yourself where you're going to basically trust yourself, trust your instinct, trust your intuition, and let go from following the same cliches that other musicians are following. So you won't write a chord progression copying it from another song. You can just trust your intuition and experiment with uncommon harmonic movements, uncommon chord progressions, and this in turn will help you generate uncommon and fresh melodic ideas on top of these original chord progressions. And again, being confident about your musicality can seem like a little thing, but indeed it makes a huge difference because it allows you to really trust your intuition, which is a very important thing if you want to be original and if you want your voice to stand out from the crowd. On the contrary, it's very hard to be original if you're not confident in your intuition and in your taste. So as you probably already heard elsewhere, you need to first know the rules before you can break them, right? And that's exactly what I'm talking about. When you have a great level of musicality, it means that you know the rules. And so then you can feel free to break them because you know that you're going to break them in a very musical way. The third and last reason why you should practice your training if you are a songwriter is in order to compose and write songs mentally when you're away from your instrument. This might seem a tiny thing, but really just imagine how much time you're spending away from your instrument and just imagine how inspiring it is maybe to write something when you're traveling, when you're in the subway and you're seeing a lot of different people, or when you are driving. These are the situations where we have our best ideas. At least that's what happens to me. And there's an explanation for that. Because in all these situations, we don't focus our mind obsessively on the task of writing a song. We just let our mind wander because a part of our brain is already focused on performing another activity, which might be driving, for example. So we only have a little part of our brain that can wonder about a song, about something. And we tend to be more creative and more original when we are in that state. But even if we don't take that into account, just consider how much time you are spending away from home, away from your studio, from your instrument, and how beneficial it would be to you to be able to dedicate that time to composing songs or to finishing songs ideas that you've already started. Well, if you have great ear training skills, if you have a great level of musicality, you can basically just come up with melodies and chords and write them down, or maybe in a more modern fashion, just record them in your phone. With that said, as you can see, ear training can help you become a more efficient songwriter and also can help you take advantage of those moments where you feel very inspired, but you don't have your instrument with you. Okay, those were the 3 reasons why you should practice your training if you're a songwriter. I hope everything was clear. Please subscribe to the channel and leave a like to this video if you like the content, and feel free to leave your questions in the comment section below, along with your suggestions about the topics that you want us to discuss in the next videos. Lastly, if you're interested in developing your ear training skills, I really suggest you check out our website where you will find our free and paid courses. You will find all the relevant links in the description section below. That's all for now. Thanks for watching this video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!